What's going on, folks? This is Mr. Colion Noir, and this is the Kimber Ultra CDP-2, chambered in 45 ACP. If there's one thing about 1911s that I'll give them is, and I'm not a fan of them because due to capacity, and honestly, from a manufacturing standpoint, the new generation of the commercial brands of 1911s to me are just not reliable out of the box. So I don't really too much utilize them for concealed carry or anything of that sort, personally. That's just my personal take on it. Now, I do have an eye on a TRP from Springfield. So whenever I get some money to do something like that, I'll go ahead and pick one of those up just for the sake of picking it up. And the only reason I even really started liking that gun, honestly, was because of Corey 07 Ink's video. He has a TRP, and I'm in love with it. So I think I might get that one in black at some point. But in the meantime, I want to talk about the CDP. Now, all right. Now, one of the things about the CDP, considering my thoughts on 1911s, that I really like about this gun is this is a really pretty looking gun. I can't use any other words to describe the way this gun looks except pretty. It's just pretty. Which is a bit odd considering we're talking about a gun here, but it is. And most 1911s are actually very good looking guns. If there's one thing you cannot take away from a 1911 is that, my God, they are beautiful guns. So with that being said, this CDP it's just a good looking gun. And in my opinion, I love the color combo on this particular gun. With the black and the silver and then the brown on the handle grips. I really like that. It kind of turns out well. And this to me is a show me piece. This is a piece where when you're out and about or you're with some friends who are also gun nuts, you can show them this care piece and say, here, look at my pretty little thing. I mean, Glocks, you've seen them all. I mean, plastics, I mean, how pretty can a plastic gun be? But something that's metal or alloy, all through and through, you really can't beat the way it looks. You just can't. Stainless steel slide, and the weird thing is it's busy, but there's still a simplistic beauty to it that can't really be denied. And I love that about 1911s, and especially in this gun here. So in that regard, as far as a look standpoint, this gun is amazing. This gun is pretty as hell. All right. This is a 1911. I've rarely heard of anyone telling me that a 1911 did not feel good in their hands or that a 1911 did not point straight for them. Because quite frankly, this is kind of where the 1911 excels, is the ergonomics. You really can't mess up the ergonomic system of a 1911 until you start double stacking and doing all types of sorts of stuff like that. But for the most part, a 1911 feels amazing in hand. It just points. It points straight. Especially when you're looking down the sights, it does everything it needs to. And one thing I really love about 1911s, even though I'm not a fan of the grip safeties, is when you grab it, you cannot help but to get right up under the beaver tail to give you the most positive grip that you could possibly attain from this gun. And I love that. The back checkering is probably, it's really aggressive, but at the same time, it's not too aggressive. But to be honest with you, what I think helps out a lot with that is this grip safety. Because the lines, the checkering on the back strap is only about 50% of the back. The rest is a grip safety. So I think that in itself kind of gives you just enough grip so that it doesn't become uncomfortable. And I think that's due in part to the large grip safety in the back. You do have the lines per inch and checkering in the front, which isn't aggressive as the ones in the back. So that's also a good thing. And you also have checkering underneath the trigger guard, which is also a good thing. So through and through, this gun's not coming out of your hand at all. Like, this gun's gonna stay in your hand, especially for the robust recoil of the 45 and such a small frame gun. You cannot beat this. The trigger pull on a 1911 is bar none one of the lightest I've ever encountered. Just like that. It's the shortest traveling trigger I have ever encountered. A 1911, and this is a production gun. Imagine those race guns you see, where the trigger pull is like 1 pound or half a pound. The gun just Trigger is awesome. It's so short, in fact, you don't even need a reset because it just that's the reset. And it's not much take up. Like, this is the take up on a 1911 trigger. Right there, that's your take up. On a Glock, you start out here, come all the way back here, and that'd be your take up. On 1911, that's your take up before the break. And the break's really clean, really nice, really smooth, as you can see. Of course, you still gotta contend with the grip safety sometimes if you don't have fully depressed down. But the trigger on this gun is immaculate. I have to give it to them. It's short uptake, nice, clean, crisp break. But that's with almost all 1911. So it's nothing that's unique to this particular gun, but a characteristic of all 1911s for the most part. So that's my take on the trigger. The manual bars on a 1911 are pretty standard. They all come the same way. They all do the same thing. You have a grip safety. All right. You have a hammer. You have a beaver tail. You got a slide safety, a slide stop, a trigger, skeletonized trigger, your magazine release, and you have your sights. Now since this is a carry gun, this gun has been outfitted with the night sights, 3-dot night sights on this gun. They are slightly raised. They are quality night sights, I'll give them that. But for the most part, the manual arms on a 1911 are pretty standard. This gun is very, very carry friendly. With the shorter barrel, this gun excels as a carry concealed weapon, and there's no knocking that. It does come with, it's a 7-round capacity, which I'm not the hugest fan of, but I mean, some people would argue that you get 7 rounds of 45. That's kind of bullshit to me, but that's another video. But from a size perspective, I think this gun works, especially considering I can get all 3 fingers on around the grip frame. That right in and of itself, size-wise, compared to the Glock 26. Granted, it is taller, but it's also considerably thinner. And then I get all 3 fingers wrapped around the firearm. I think that kind of speaks for itself from a carry standpoint, from a carry concealed standpoint. So as far as the size on this gun, it's perfect almost. If I had to choose a 1911 to carry on a carry concealed basis, if I had to run a 1911, I would more than likely choose this. I would more than likely go with the Kimber CDP. Honestly, simply because I really like the way it looks. That is a very piss poor reason to carry a gun, but I'm just gonna be honest. Like, if I had to carry 1911, it would be this one, because it's compact, it's small. I'm not a huge fan of the round count, 7 rounds, but and I'm gonna do a video, and I'm gonna backdoor this video, and I might do a video comparing this to the Glock 36. Simply because the round counts on those 2 things are about the same. The Glock 26 is a 6+1, I believe, and this is a 7+1. So in that regard, off the top, I'm saying this kind of nudges it ahead simply because you get 7 rounds and about the same size gun. But if I had to carry it, I would carry this. But I don't carry 1911s, I carry plastic. So from here on out, at this point, this and my 19 are pretty much gonna be my carry guns. But if I had to carry a 1911, and for those people who are looking to carry 1911, this is a great option. It's a beautiful gun. It's quality. I don't really see any corners cut on this gun whatsoever. They really put some thought into this gun, and I have to give it to Kimber for that. It is based out of the custom shop, so I'm guessing that has something to do with it. But for the most part, this is an excellent gun, and I would recommend it if you were looking to carry concealed with the 1911. This is the gun I think you should run with. All right, folks, that's Mr. Colion Noir. I'm out.